Hello, I'm the pro wrestling VTuber dedicated to love and justice, Kit Saberfang, and today I'll be showing you how to watch Deadlock Pro Wrestling online. If you're a wrestling fan with an ear to the indies, you may have already heard of DPW, the now 2-year-old promotion helmed by 3 guys from the aptly titled Deadlock podcast, John Blood, James Darnell, aka CM Pulse, and Anthony Douglas, aka Tony Pizza Guy. DPW has made a name for itself by producing consistently high-quality shows featuring some of the best unsigned talent in the world, and is often likened to a modern-day early 2000s Ring of Honor. You'll find a number of familiar crossover talents, such as the Workhorsemen and Emi Sakura from AEW, the Motor City Machine Guns along with Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich from TNA Wrestling, and freelancers like Miyuki Takase, Brian Keith, and Calvin Tankman on DPW shows. And if you're not yet familiar with many wrestlers on the indies, DPW's previous 2 world champions, Jay Malachi and Lucky Ali, were both recently signed to developmental deals with WWE. So if you want to see where the future stars of wrestling are coming from, you'll want to keep an eye on DPW. Today we'll go over how to sign up for its streaming service, different viewing and purchasing options, and show you where to find available free content to help you with your decision. Finally, we'll have a quick chat with a fellow VTuber who's been to a majority of DPW's events and get their opinion on which shows you should check out first as a new viewer. Let's get started. Start by opening your web browser of choice and heading over to dpwondemand.com. You won't find Deadlock Pro Wrestling on any other streaming service or online package, as they've created their own platform that directly supports the promotion. There are 2 methods of watching DPW shows online, by subscribing to its service or by purchasing individual shows. In the next section and in the description below, I'll have links to free content available on the DPW service for you to test out the experience for yourself. To begin a subscription service, start by clicking the Subscribe Now button found at the top of the main page. Here you'll create your DPW On Demand account by supplying a valid email address and secure password, and then you'll need to choose between a monthly or annual subscription. These are the current US prices listed for the service as of this video, where they're offering a 30% discount on an annual purchase. Make the decision best suited for you, input your payment information including a valid credit card, and click Start Subscription. Just like that, you're ready to dive into DPW. If you're only interested in a specific show and would like to purchase it individually, you can find the a la carte library by clicking Browse at the top of the page and scrolling down to the DPW Events a la carte section, where each show is available for $14.99 US each. This is also what a monthly subscription to DPW On Demand costs per month, but the option is here if that's what you're looking for. Now, what if you're on the fence, or at the very least would like to test out the service for yourself? DPW has a full event available for free, and you can find it by navigating to the Browse page and scrolling down to the free video section. I'll also have this linked in the description below. Carolina Classic 2022 is a fantastic event in its own right, and it'll also let you test out your viewing setup. And if that's not enough, DPW on YouTube features regular updates along with the occasional free match. I'll have a link to a playlist for you to check out in the description below. Let's talk viewing options for DPW. It's pretty straightforward. They don't have an app to download, and so however you choose to watch, you'll be doing so via web browser. You can watch with whatever you use to sign up with. But what if you want to watch it on your TV? Pretty much every smart device or current gaming console has a web browser, and I've personally used DPW On Demand on my iPhone using both Chrome and Safari, where it supports AirPlay, my desktop using Firefox and Edge, Amazon Fire Media Stick with Silk Browser, and even an Xbox One using its native Edge browser. Just remember to save that password so you don't have to D-pad it in every time. Okay, so you've got your DPW On Demand subscription and you're ready to jump in. What do you watch first? Well, I've been to plenty of Deadlock Pro Wrestling shows myself, but there is another, even more DPW-obsessed VTuber, if you can believe it. They're my friend MATTIE, and they've been to all but 3 of DPW's shows, and they've been there since the beginning. If there's anyone who can help guide new fans into the world of DPW, it's them. Say hi, MATTIE.
Yeah, hi, I'm MATTIE. I'm a VTuber. I've gone to pretty much every single DPW show except for the Tag Festival, and the New Jersey shows, and the Japan show. So about 3 or 4 different shows I haven't gone to.
But that's a pretty good batting percentage, right?
Yeah, I would say it's a very good percentage.
So I asked if you could put together a list of the first 3 shows you feel new DPW fans should check out. Do you have your list?
I'm ready with the list. And this isn't based off ranking or anything. It's just like, here's things you should watch. And it's not because this is the top 1, top 2, top 3, da, da, da. This is literally just All of these shows are really fucking good.
Okay, what is your first recommendation?
The first show that someone should watch, because especially because it's very accessible, is Fire Volume 3 on YouTube. It's entirely on the Deadlock Pro Wrestling YouTube.
Yeah, so we were both at this show, and you were in the front row, I believe.
Yep. I'm always in front row. Every single DPW show in the past 2 years, if it's been North Carolina, except for Tag Festival, you would see me in front row, if you knew what I look like. From Volume 3, I think the star-making performance and like the one I really memorized the most, and the one I actually watched the match of the most, is Tankman versus Jay Malachi. If you guys don't know, Malachi recently signed with WWE. I guess he'll be in NXT at some point soon. That was literally a star-making performance because it seemed like he was going heel for quite a while, and then Tankman just beat the dog out of him for like 13 minutes, and then the crowd loved him for it.
I have to say, I love that you picked Fire Volume 3 because it gave us one of DPW's first and probably most iconic moment, which of course is Konosuke Takeshita shouting, "Let's fucking go! Let's go! Let's go from Takeshita!"
I mean, Colby versus Anthony Henry, dope match. Mason Miles versus Alec Price, 9 minutes, still dope as hell. They had a 5-way match with Andrew Everett, PK Westbrook, Donnie Ray, Gringo, and Yo-Yo.
Okay, tell me your second recommendation for new DPW fans to check out.
So this one is on DPW On Demand, unfortunately. You know, you can't watch it free on YouTube. The second one that I have off the top of my head is DPW Believe the Hype. Middle of fucking August 2022. Hot as a in the DPW Diva Dome. And I just watched Bojack and Donnie Ray beat each other for the first match for the world title.
This was one of the absolute hottest crowds I've ever been in at a wrestling show. It was just a crowd that was ready for this show.
The crowd was hot the whole show. And it probably helps that there's echo due to the massive dome and the fan. But the crowd was hot the entire show. If you go like and watch it VOD now, just listen to how loud the crowd is the entirety of the show because we were there for it.
When I did a video on my year in pro wrestling travels, I called this the best show that I had seen that year. And it's still one that I like to go back to and watch from time to time. It's just incredible. And to me, this is just the most iconic DPW show. It also had the US debut of Emi Sakura in an indie, along with the full US debut of Mizuki.
Remember that was her debut. Holy shit.
I remember when Mizuki's coming into the ring, she's got like straight up backup dancers in the crowd with her, and just everything about her match with Emi was just so perfect. The finals for the women's tournament to see who would be the first champion.
Yeah, where I became the first women's world champion actually.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So what happened is Rachel went to throw the belt at Rosemary and missed. Belt flew out of the fucking ring, landed right in my lap, and I just held it until the match ended.
Finally, let's talk that main event, Konosuke Takeshita versus Andrew Everett. One of the absolute best matches I'd ever seen live in person. Just unbelievable stuff.
No, 100%. And also it was like the main, and like it was already a long as hell show. It was like, I think we were like 2 hours, 48 minutes in at this point. Then it was hot as hell, still hot as hell, still humid. And I literally expanded every bit of my energy as I could into it. From clapping to yelling to screaming to fucking cheering, what have you. It was just like 18 minutes of watching like the best fucking wrestlers I've ever seen live just wrestle in front of the hottest crowd I've ever heard. And literally the hottest fucking arena I've ever been in, like ever.
Okay, final pick of the day. What is your third recommendation for new DPW fans to watch?
My third show is DPW No Pressure of this year, 2023.
Hey, another one that I was at all of these.
Wow. How does it happen?
Well, I mean, you know.
How does they do it?
You know, something that stands out with this show is you can look at the card and it's very DPW centric, you know? It's just stacked with a lot of DPW originals. And
if you're not a DPW original on this card, you at least are a DPW like coded. Like Kevin Blackwell is DPW coded to me. That dude's tough. Brian Keefe is DPW coded to me.
What do you remember most from the show?
Obviously, I remember Violence is Forever having their world title match, or world tag team title match, excuse me, against MSP, because I felt like that was star making from MSP. There was a good amount of times during the match I bid on it, and I was like, oh, MSP is about to become the new tag champs. Like, there was like a couple different tag team combinations. I can't remember names at the moment, but there's just like, wow, these dudes are rocking right now.
This show also had Myron Reed versus future DPW world champion Jay Malachi, where he goes crazy with the tope cutters.
I feel like I've never seen a match that like they're so stylistically like matched, but at the same time they kind of like were different in their own ways because they both have cutters, right? And then finally the main event that everyone's been waiting for 2 years, Calvin Tankman versus Bojack. Unfortunately not for a title at the moment, but we've been waiting for like 2 years for that match to happen. And they pretty much just went out to the crowd and used everyone's seat and just beat them out of each other.
Thanks so much for joining me to help welcome people to DPW. Where can they find you for more?
Oh, yeah. Hit up my Twitch, twitch.tv/Mattie, MATTIE. Is like Twitter X now. I'm going to call it Twitter because X. Twitter.com/Mattie, www, 3 W's. YouTube, at Mattie W. I guess is now the thing. I don't know why I have to do that now. I don't know why they chose that. Besides that, check out my Twitter. I go to pretty much every single DPW show. If you can't go to a DPW show, I'm constantly talking about it. I'm probably tweeting about it, GIFs, or just like live tweeting about it. Shout out Superjaw. My favorite fucking production company in the Carolinas. Not because I just recently got a job with them or anything. And shout out to the boys, because if it weren't for fucking DPW, I probably wouldn't have like completely relocated my life from Florida up to be where I am now in North Carolina. I don't really mind saying that. If it weren't for that, If it weren't for DPW, I wouldn't have actually met like most of the people I know up here. And like, there's a lot of good people up here. Definitely have more friends up here than I ever had in Florida.
Doing it for the boys.
Do it for the boys.